Welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this ruched asymmetrical skirt. So please hit the subscribe button, tap the like button, and let's head right in. So guys, I'm going to be starting this with my front, and then this is my full complete pattern. This is my full skirt complete pattern. So at the front, I'm going to, because it's asymmetric in front, I'm going to draft in the two sections the skirt is going to have. So yeah, for part A, that's section A, you're going to bring it from here, from the hem of the skirt here. I'm going to draw a curved line from here down to my waist here using my French curve. So once I'm done doing that, you can place another piece of paper underneath it, and then you trace section A out. Then we would have to now trace in section B. So guys, this is my section A traced out. So I'm going to place another piece of paper underneath this, and then I'm going to trace this from the waist, and I'll trace this to the side out. So now for the other parts, I'm going to measure a bit from the waist right here. So I can measure maybe 2 inches or 3 inches. So from there, I'm going to curve a line from here down to the upper hip level. So I'm going to stop on my dart line right here. Then you extend this bit out to however long you want. So from this spot, I'm going to measure 3 inches downward. Then you draw a line from here to where this stops right here, or rather this whole line should be on the other side, because I have to connect from here to this spot here. So I'm just going to ignore this. Please ignore this line. I'm going to draw this line that I have here. I'm going to draw it from here instead. So ignore this one also. So 3 inches, measure 3 inches from here, mark it here. Then from there, draw a curved line to your dart line here. Let me use my black marker so it's not confusing for you. So we are ignoring these lines and this one here. So you get the drift. Then you extend from this line all the way out, like we did on this side. So I'm transferring everything I did here, I'm transferring it here, because this is not the right side for me to draw what I drew earlier. Then you measure 3 inches down, and then you measure down the same length you have here, you measure it here. Then at the hem right here, I'm going to measure let's say 3 inches inward. From there you connect the line to this spot. I already said we are ignoring this. And that's that for that. So I hope you get the drift. So you're going to trace this out, this green line out for section A, and then you trace this bit out this way, then this way for section B. Section A, section B. So I'm going to trace it out now so it doesn't get too confusing for you. Now this is section A. Ignore all the marked lines on it. So I already traced it out and cut it out. This is it. You can see this is the curve we drew earlier. So this is section A and this is section B. So please bear in mind that this pattern is a pencil shaped pattern. So that means that at the hem right here, I already penciled it in. It's not a basic skirt pattern. So now let's work on section B right here. So on section B here, I'm going to draw in some lines, slash lines into this, because I want to have like a bit of ruching here, and then want to have like pleats on this. So I'm going to draw in my slash lines now. Now I'm going to cut this out now. I'm going to slash it open all the way, but not true to the hip, just like a bit away from the hip here. So I'm going to slash it, and then I'll spread it out on my fabric, or you can either spread it out on a piece of paper first if you want to like see how if you want to like first do that on the paper. So you can first do that on the paper if you want, or you can do that straight on your fabric. So I'm just going to do that now, and then I'll show you. But then I'm also going to add my allowances to the outline of my pattern. So I'll add ½ inch here, ½ inch at the waist here, 1 inch at the side, and 1 inch at the hem right here, ½ inch here, ½ inch here, ½ inch here. So I'm just going to do all of that now. Now this is it all spread out, you can see it. So I already spread it out. So all you have to do now is to just connect a line to make this equal. So you just connect a line all the way to blend this bit out. Then at the side here, if it's like opening up like this, you just place it up and blend also this part smoothly. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'm going to cut this from my fabric. And this is what that is going to look like at this side. You can see that the hem right. So this is the side, the part I blended. You can see this is it right. So now I'm just going to cut this out now, and then I'll cut it on my lining, and then I'll be ready to sew all of this together. Then you also remember to cut a band for the waistline of your skirt. So yeah, also remember that this pattern is dartless, so I already took out the darts, the waist dart from that. So guys, I already cut this out of my fabric. This is my section B, and this is my lining piece. So all I have to do now is just turn this bit out with my lining. So I'll turn this bit and also the hem, just to keep all my raw edges like really neat. And then I'm also going to turn a bit of the waist. I'll leave a bit I'm going to turn a bit of the waist, and then yeah, this is the section A with the lining also. So this goes under this. So this bit here, section B, goes on top of this. So you get the drift. So after you have turned all the raw edges like with your lining, that is this part, and then also this part, and all the ones I explained earlier, then you can now place this on top of this. So this is the back. The back is a normal back, like the normal basic pencil skirt back rather. So this is it right here, my normal basic pencil skirt back. And this is my front waistband for the skirts, and this is the back waistband for the skirts. So this measures 3 inches on fold. This is it. So it measures 3 inches on fold, so I have double of it. This is the front, this right here is for the back. So yeah, I'm just going to go sew those ones I mentioned earlier. I'm going to go sew them now, and then we move on to the next part of the sewing. So guys, this is the front bit, the section, what's it called, section B I think. So yeah, I already turned it inside out. This is the extra bit, the one we slashed and spread. This is it here. This is the waist right here. This is the part I said I would leave out a bit and not turn inside. So this is it. So guys, I had a little bit of an iron accident just right now. That's why I have like blisters on my hand now. So yeah, this is the waist. So now at this point here, you make sure you mark it out, the part we extended on our pattern. You remember that. So you're going to mark it out and then sew in a gather stitch right in the middle right here. Then you're going to pull it. Then but before I do that, this is my back part. I mentioned it's a basic pencil skirt back, so this is it right here. And this is the section A. This one will be below this. So this one will be here like this. So yeah, you get the drift. So this is how this is going to be. This is going to be exactly the same as the waist of this section A, and then you know we already curved it on our pattern, so this is how it will look. So now I'm going to pull this now to gather it up, and you're going to gather it back to the 3 inches that we measured on your pattern. You know, this part was 3 inches before we slash and spread open. So now I'm going to gather it back to 3 inches. So now that I'm done with the ruching, this is what it's going to look like. So this is it. So now I'm just going to place it and position it with this section A. Then you can sew this bit down or pin it down, whichever one. So you sew it down or pin it down, and then this goes this way. Then you make sure this part here, this gathered part here, you sew it down on top of this one below. The exact way I've arranged it, you sew this one down so that it stays on top of this without moving out of the way. So you sew this, you sew the waist down, sew this down, and then you sew this down on top of this. So, and that completes the front. So once you sew that down, that completes the front. Then you can now place your back and front pieces together, right sides together like this. Then you sew 1 inch at the side, 1 inch at the side here, and this is my band, my waistband. So I'm going to be attaching this waistband to the front, and then this bit, these 2 pieces to the back. So I'm going to show you how to do that before I join the front and back together. So yeah, let me just sew this down now, and then I'll show you how to attach the waistband. Now this is it. So remember to also sew this bit also down, and then this is the ruched part that I've already attached. So now before I place both my front and back pieces together, I'm going to attach my band here. So this is my waistband. I already ironed some interfacing on the waistband. So what I'm going to do is to place this. I'm going to turn this inside. Place this way and sew down by 1/2 inch. Then once I'm done, I'll turn it inside out this way. You place this and sew down by 1/2 inch. So once you are done, you turn it over to the right side, and then you fold in 1/2 inch here to top stitch it down. So yeah, that is it. Now for the back piece, you can either make sure your zipper, that is when you're attaching your zipper, you can either make sure your zipper extends all the way to where your waistband is here, or you can have a hook and eye right here to like clasp it at the back rather than having the zipper. So the zipper will stop here, and then we'll have a hook and eye right here. So to do that, after when you're placing your waistband, after you must have sewn a 1/2 inch right here, you then fold this place like this. Once you are done sewing 1/2 inch right here, then this will be left like this. So obviously if this was the front, we'll just go straight to top stitch to the front. But before doing that, for the back, just sew this down by 1/2 inch right here. You'll notice that after sewing this, there's going to be an excess right here. You can see I have this little excess, nothing more than 1/2 inch right here. So that part is where I'll be attaching, where I'll be putting my hook and eye. So once you sew this down, you can sew this down by 1/4 right here. So once you are done, you turn it inside out, and then you sew your top stitch to the front. So I'll do it now, so I'll just show you what it looks like. So this is what I meant. After sewing this bit by 1/2 inch, then you sew this bit. You can see that there's a little extra bit here, excess here. So I'm sewing this by 1/4 inch. The excess I have here is like 1/2 inch. So I'm sewing this down by 1/4 inch. So all I have to do now is to turn it inside out, and then I'll top stitch by 1/2 inch like I've done here. So this is it. And turn it inside out, and then you top stitch by ½ inch, just like this, and that's all really. So all I have to do now is to place my front and back pieces together and then sew at the side by 1 inch. So I'm just going to do all of that now, and then that will be all for the sewing of the skirts. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video if you found this tutorial interesting and helpful. You can also turn on the notifications bell so you don't miss my upcoming videos when I post them. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.